Price average hitting $3.80, now rising 2 weeks in a row, and it could get a lot worse as OPEC is considering slashing oil production tomorrow. Joining me live is Dr. Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation. Dr. Roberts, good morning to you. So the concern is that OPEC could cut output by 1 to 2 million barrels. This meeting is going to take place tomorrow, and if that does happen, could it increase gas prices? What do you think about all of this?
It will absolutely increase gas prices, Carly, and there's no good time for that, obviously. But think about the timing of this, not just relevant to the election that's coming up, but far more importantly for the everyday American. Thinking about winter. I mean, most Americans right now are feeling the touch of autumn, and in a few weeks we see winter temperatures coming, and what's going to happen as a result of this decrease in OPEC oil production is that gas prices will go up. We'll feel it at the pump, we'll feel it when we're heating our homes, and obviously the president and his party are going to feel it on Election Day.
There's also this, Dr. Roberts. President Biden's approval rating is falling. It was rising a couple months ago. Now it's falling again, and especially on issues that voters care about the most. Look at this poll. He has a 30% approval rating on how he's handled inflation, 32% on how he's handled crime, 43% approval on how he's handling elections and voting. This is according to a Monmouth poll, and the same poll found about half of all voters believe President Biden is doing worse than they thought he would as president. Do these numbers surprise you, and what do you think it means for the midterms?
Well, unfortunately, they don't surprise me. And I say unfortunately because when the president's approval ratings are that low on things like inflation and crime, it means that everyday Americans are feeling the pain of his incompetence. I don't rejoice in saying that, Carly, as you know, but the reality is that in a month, there will be elections all over this country for the U.S. House, the U.S. Senate. Obviously, the president's party is in bad shape because his ratings are so low there. It's really important, if I may write a postscript, that when a conservative majority is delivered, certainly in the House, and it looks like increasingly it will be in the Senate, that Americans will demand of those conservatives not just that they pat on their backs that there's a Republican majority, but that they fix these problems that the president and his party have created. The Heritage Foundation, as you know, is proud to be their accountability partners as they come into power.
Also, I want to get to this about the coronavirus pandemic and what we know about how it might have gotten started. We do know that Dr. Anthony Fauci's National Institute of Allergies and Infectious Diseases gave grant money to EcoHealth Alliance, which is run by Dr. Peter Daszak, and then he funneled that money to the Wuhan lab to study bat coronaviruses. And if you think that we would have learned from that, think again, because now we're learning that in August of this year, Fauci's organization awarded another $650,000 to EcoHealth Alliance to study coronaviruses. First of all, can you believe this is happening? And can you also believe that there's a lack of outrage over this occurring once again?
Just when you think you've heard it all, here's yet another chapter in this 21st century version of Orwell's novel, right? And this is the precise problem, that not only do we have this gain of function research continuing to happen, that alone in a vacuum, Carly, would be a problem ethically, but American taxpayers are now going to spend another several $100,000, as you point out, funding this research, and there is no outrage. Obviously, at Heritage, our friend Senator Rand Paul has been very outspoken about this. It's crucial that Americans get their hand on this, that there's real oversight on this problem, because this kind of research, if Wuhan is repeated again, will perhaps result in another pandemic like COVID-19.
Yeah, and you make a great point about this being taxpayer money that goes to the same group that handed it straight on over to the Wuhan lab. And Ashley Rinsberg has a great piece in unheard.com. He says, if this was a nuclear weapon research that resulted in the deaths of more than 10 million and the disruption of billions of lives, we'd be on the streets demanding answers. So why aren't we now? I think that's a key question, Dr. Roberts.
Well, it is. And the answer to that, unfortunately, is that the liberal ruling elite that control this country and so many European countries and the World Health Organization don't want us even asking the questions. So whether it's you or me or a member of the U.S. Senate, when we dare to ask the question, is this right? Is this appropriate? We're deemed to be sort of disorderly. And it's really important, especially to sort of come back to election time, that people realize in this country and around the world, regular folks have had it. They've had it with a liberal ruling elite telling us one thing and living according to other standards. The optimism that I will end on, Carly, is that I think we're about to turn the corner. We look forward to the future.
Well, more to come on this front for sure. Dr. Roberts, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.